Please give a warm Florida Speakers welcome to Mr. Bernie Cronin.
Thank you, Mace, for that wonderful introduction. Mace said to me this morning, "How should I introduce you?" I said, 210 pounds of twisted steel and sex appeal. For openers, what the hell? You know? And yes, thank you very much, and it's an honor to speak to my colleagues and peers at the Florida Speakers Association. And it's interesting, we think about competitive advantage. Jack Welch said it so well, if you don't have a competitive advantage, don't compete. And in my world of sales and sales training and consulting, my competitive advantage is really in my mission statement, is to help my clients grow closer to their true potential through gradual, incremental behavioral change. That's what it's all about. Vince Lombardi said the key to the success of the Green Bay Packers is repetition, repetition, repetition. And so I've developed a number of programs that you speak on. One of them is change is good, you go first. People, that's that drastic thing about change and goal setting, a number of different things I speak about in my different topics. But one of the things I wanted to mention today is that years ago, I used to tell my clients, if you can't act, you can't sell. And I got a call about 12 years ago from one of my clients who moved from my Boston area to New York. He said, "Bernie, you have to come to New York and meet my acting coach. He's fantastic. You've always said if you can't act, you can't sell." I said, "Okay, Linda." I went and met this gentleman in New York. He had played in Cats. He was the East Coast representative for Eric Morris. I went to his acting class, brought him up to Boston. He came to my acting classes. We developed a whole consortium of curriculum, if you will, on involving theater into business. Because as Shakespeare said, all the world's a stage. We're all actors and actresses, all with our entrances and exits, and we all play roles in our times. Isn't it true? We get up in the morning, we go to our dressing room, we put on our costume for the day, depending upon our audience, right? We prepare ourselves. It's all theater. We're producers, we're actors, choreographers, actors, actresses, stagehands for our show. And so I started training with this gentleman, and then I went and took a class in New York with Eric Morris. Eric coaches Jack Nicholson, Michelle Pfeiffer, Johnny Depp. He's written 7 books on acting. One of them is called No Acting, Please. And one of the things that Eric said to me is that, the key to acting is you do not become the character becomes you. And he said 95% of acting is preparation. And then I eventually went to the Burt Reynolds Institute of Film and Theater. What the hell am I doing in the emerging playwrights group? I don't know, but I started to learn about writing plays, actors, and leads, and personalities. And recently, in the last 5-6 years, I partnered up with Frank Licari. I don't know if anyone knows Frank. He's the original Blue Man Group. He has Franklin Productions up in Jupiter. And Frank and I actually provide one day and weekend acting classes called Weekend at Bernie's. Oddly enough. And it's fabulous, just bringing that whole. So what do you do next? Okay? You decide, and last week it was interesting. I was at the Palm Beach Book Festival, and my friend Burt Reynolds was there, and he autographed a book to my friend Bernie, as I went through Burt's classes. And his book is But Enough About Me. And it was so wonderful. He talked about, the people that he met. It wasn't about Burt. And he said the same thing. You become the character. The character doesn't become you. And so what do you do next? You write a book. So I thought, well, when I start out my show, I always say, oh, it's showtime. So I wrote a book called Showtime, Celebrating the Actor in You. Okay? Your ticket to greatness in business and life. Isn't it true we're all about? It's all showbiz, right, Stephen? You're going to be doing a show in a few minutes. Okay? And I developed it into 9 acts, not chapters. Okay? The world of theater, the world of business, the role of the actor, the role of the business person, the role of the producer and director, the role of the C-suite executive, the audition, the interview, okay, and the curtain call or the encore. And I have 5 scenes in each act. Playbill, okay, discover what you're going to discover. Let the show begin. Okay, curtain call, what I told you. And then out of the box office, Bernie's challenge. And I challenge everyone to go and get involved in a local theater group. And it's really been a blast learning this whole business of theater. And one of my legacies that I have is that I encourage young people when they go, particularly my children, grandchildren, when they go to college, take 3 drama classes. Okay? If they have a school of drama, all the better. If they don't, find one locally. And then when you graduate from college, okay, go to Toastmasters. I don't know how many of you have been to Toastmasters. It's wonderful for me. Overcame all my fears of performing. And it's a wonderful legacy to give to young people. So I encourage you to think about your performance when you're out there speaking. How am I doing on time, by the way?
Just a couple minutes.
Okay. Just think about what you do out there, how we perform. We prepare. Steven's prepared for his show today. Okay? He judges who his audience is, what he's going to do next, what the message is, what the takeaway is. Okay? It's all about, as Eric said, 95% of acting is preparation. And I asked Eric Morris, I said, who's the greatest preparer you've ever worked with? He said, without a doubt, Jack Nicholson. Jack, remember the movie A Few Good Men? Okay? They rehearsed that, he and Tom Cruise, for hours. What a show. We still remember it. And he said, do you remember Dustin Hoffman in the movie Rain Man? Remember that one? 3 months after the shoot, Dustin was still autistic. He became the character. And that's true with us. We've got to be authentic with our message as we speak to our audience, get to know our audience. I know all of you here, most of you here. We've got a guest here today, Jim. And so I consider it an honor to be able to give you a little background of what I do, how I melded and blended into the world of theater, and how I impart it to my clients and make it part of my curriculum. So I appreciate you. Let's have a great show today. And thank you for inviting me to the Florida Speakers Association.